sometimes I think these executives like just aren't so smart, or they're so full of themselves, right? They're billionaires in their own right. One Bob Iger over at Disney, which owns ESPN, and one Roger Goodell, which owns the NFL. Now they're doing this merger, you see, between ESPN and the NFL. And this merger actually is something that, they're going to need approval for. DOJ, FTC, FCC could weigh in. The plan is to acquire the NFL Network, the NFL's linear red zone channel, distribution, and also NFL Fantasy. Now, NFL is going to receive 10% equity stake in the deal in ESPN if this whole thing goes through. But again, they're waiting on approval. And I'm not so sure that the approval is going to come. I mean, you know what Brennan's been saying. He's been looking into ABC already and Disney. He launched an investigation. He's concerned about their DEI practices. Now they go out and do this on the heels of the Kimmel thing? I mean, Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, for goodness sakes. I mean, that was just awful, 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 awful. And my friend Charlie and his memory just being, treated so improperly in that, and the idea that Sinclair and the other one, Nexstar, are coming back to the table. Shame on them. They really should have gotten rid of this show absolutely forever for good. But I will say this merger's at risk. I mean, if I'm the Trump administration, am I going to bend over backwards to help you guys when you get this really, really aggressively anti-American and then anti-law enforcement performer, likely, who is going to be saying things on the stage? And if you look at all of his songs, they all have plenty of swear words in them. Again, they're in Spanish, and nobody can understand him because he doesn't pronounce well in Spanish nor in English. So does it fly by the FCC? No. Brennan's going to be all over this. Okay, so I'm looking at him like, boy, NBC, that's not really very good news for you. Weren't you like trying to be your own thing, right? That's why you spun off or about to spin off all those cable entities, because you want to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. Now you get this insanity coming your way, and believe me, it is insanity. I mean, this guy is bad news. The stuff is disgusting. And again, I couldn't even put it. I had it on a graphic. I showed it to someone this morning. I'm like, can you believe this? Look, I can't say these things. I would not feel comfortable saying these things, but he's out there singing them away. And, this is what is part of the problem, honestly, with society. When you've got a cultural element like that thinks that abuse of women or the glorification of that party scene is okay, then we have a real problem. And then you get the NFL saying, ho, bring it on. Let's have a party, and this will help us somehow. This is going to help us be bigger and better and more international, because that's part of the goal here. They're trying to go really international. I will say this, you're putting so much at risk. You're putting your ABC deal at risk. You're putting NBC at risk. All for what? Because you want to be able to say, hey, we can go big, we can go wide, we can go global with our football. You know what? I'll tell you, the Europeans are never really going to love it. I did talk to my cousins in Ireland this weekend. Apparently, some people did watch the Steelers-Vikings and game that was happening in Dublin. And that is a big, push that they're making, okay? So, Roger Goodell wants to have 16 games internationally, and he wants to take football along with Bob Iger all over the world. So they want to make it big. Okay, that's fine. That's a good business, lofty goal for you guys to have. But do we have to suffer in the process? Do we have to suffer with the halftime show because you think that you want to recruit more people in the Hispanic community to watch? That's not cool. That's not cool. Okay, Roger Goodell emphasizes NFL's global vision as Steelers-Vikings meet in their Ireland debut, again in Dublin over the weekend. It carries so much weight because they're going to go global with this thing. They want to have 16 different countries. They want everybody to love football. But what are we giving up in the process? Okay, we're exporting football, fine. But why are we importing people who don't like America? Who don't want to come to America, and unless you offer them $1 gazillion. People with really, really, really bad language that they're promoting to our youth, I don't think it's worth it, frankly. I really don't. I mean, this is him in Allure. Allure magazine did a whole profile on this guy because apparently he's like the hottest thing since sliced bread over Spotify. Actually, he does very, very well for music downloads on Spotify. Again, I don't think people really do know what they're listening to, but if you do, you'll find out pretty quick. He's bad news. So what does it mean for NBC? Well, I will tell you, it's probably going to put NBC in a very treacherous place. Remember years ago, we were talking about that when Janet Jackson had her wardrobe malfunction, and that was a big mess. And there were FCC fines that had to be paid. And I think that was like an honest to God, just mistake. Well, what happens here? If this person gets up and says some of the things that he will likely say, I can also tell you, he said some terrible things about the president, and that actually, in a terrible word, let me bring it up for you because the translation doesn't even totally capture it. I don't even know if I can say this word. Okay. So why don't I go with this? I'll give you a euphemism for it. It's basically, no, I can't even fully, like it's so crazy inappropriate. Okay, how about the C word for a woman? It's like as bad or worse than that, what this guy is calling the president. So again, I go back to why are we doing this? Why are we putting somebody on the air who is, frankly, in my estimation, so filled with hate that he would call the president that bad word in Spanish, and we're going to just sit there and take it? I don't think so. NBC, wake up. ESPN, wake up. All of you better wake up to the risk that you are putting upon yourself and your shareholders, because listen, you want to be in good stead with the FCC. And don't give me this free speech nonsense. Like, there are rules, and you cannot swear, even if it's in another language. You can't have these kinds of lyrics. It's got to actually change. And I would say that Brendan's going to be all over it, okay? He's not going to allow for this. So you better wake up and you better recognize, NFL, get with the program. My recommendation is you get rid of Bad Bunny. If you can't get rid of Bad Bunny, we're going to get rid of you. Okay, people just aren't going to watch. This is what happened before. You finally got your ratings back, but you can't seem to recognize where the public really is. No, you just have to keep pushing it. Maybe because, I don't know, Roger and Bob want to, mess with Donald Trump. Maybe because you want to prove something, like, oh, maybe you don't want your merger to go through. I don't know. But listen, this is not a good move.